Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, good morning, depending on where you are watching from. It is Gail here, and I am going to, guys, we are going to read a lot today. Let me just say that. Let me just start off by saying that. Let me get that part out of the way. Okay, let me get that out. Okay, so I am going to do, it's like, it's a quick reading, okay? And this here reading just pertains to, I want to say, starting back to school, really. And it just reminds us to remind our children about the company they keep, is what I want to say. And I came across it this morning, and I just thought, hey, this is something that I need to share. Just 1 second here while I just log into here. But I just thought, you know what, this is important. This is very, very important to me. Like I said, back in the day, I want to say, they used to say that you're known by the company that you keep. And you know what I mean? True and not true is what I want to say. True and not true, depending on what it is that you're getting yourself into, is what I want to say, really. Because sometimes, you can be in a company of others, but that does not mean that that's how you carry yourself, if it makes sense. And like I said, a lot of times I be saying things and it makes perfectly good sense to me. That does not mean that it makes sense to someone else. Let me just put that out there. And when I'm giving my opinion, it's just my opinion. But you are known by the company that you keep. And I am going to share, just 1 second, guys. I'm going to share this here reading. And hopefully you will share this reading with your children. Because what we need to remember is that we are still, as parents, leading by example. And I just think that there are a lot of influences out there that sometimes your child can be misled. But if you choose to arm your child with information when you send them out the door, I think the better off they will be. And again, my opinion, okay? Does not mean it's facts, but I'm just telling you what I think. And again, when I give you the reading and I give you the scriptures, it's up to you to use it as you deem fit. But like I said, so many bad influences out there today. And I think it's just, it's needed. It's really, really needed that our children, they need to be armed with, if you guys disappear 1 second, just don't mind me. I'll just be right back. But you need to arm your children with information. I want to say with information that's vital to them, because again, the things that are going on in this world, sometimes if you don't prepare your child and you just send them out the door and you do not give them good sound advice, then I want to say that you also are responsible for the things that they are going through. And the more we share, the better off they will be. Okay. Okay. And when I'm done with this, I will come back because remember, I am doing God's promises for children, for our children. I'm telling you, there's a plethora of information there, and I am ready to share it. Yes, I've been, those of us following, you would see it on He First Loved Us and To the Point. The daily readings are still posted there. You may not see it on YouTube and Instagram, forgive me, but you will find it on the other channels. And let me just make sure that let me just put this in here. Guys, now this is the WhatsApp number. That is for the ones who would like to call in. And just 1 second. I'm going to pin my coffee. And this is for the ones who would like to support the channel, okay? You can support it with stars or super thanks or coffee, okay? So let's just get that out there and let's get this on the road. Let's get this on the road. I miss sharing with you guys. I miss sharing with you. I miss sharing with you. Oh, guys, let me step away for a second. Do not go anywhere. Just hold on 1 second. Guys, I forgot I had these extra lights on and it seemed like I was melting. So let's get on with this reading and then I'm going to log off and then I'm going to come back and then we will start on God's promise. Well, we will continue because I started it already, but I did it behind the screen. This here time I'm in front of the screen and I just want to be so that I can pin some of these notes so that you can have it. So when you go back and rewatch, some of the notes would be in there. Okay, so let's get this here brief reading out of the way. And I want you, the parents, this is really for the parents. Like I said, you can kind of share this with your child also because it will be very vital and very important, okay? So, do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character. Do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character. And this scripture given is 1 Corinthians 15, verse 33. Now, as many students, both young and old, begin preparing to return to school all across the globe, the feeling of first day jitters is starting to creep into many students' minds, whether they're starting middle school, high school, your first year of college, or graduating. The pressures of making good first impressions in a new environment are something that students from every kind of background, ethnicity, or country can relate to on some level. And some of you, your children have started back to school already, but still, it's never too late. First impressions are something we'll find important. It's natural for us to want to fit in, interact with, and make friends with our peers. And as we take the time to choose how to present ourselves, our personality, and our unique traits, it's important that we also take time to choose the right friends and invest our time and energy into the right relationships. How do we know what kind of people or friendships we should pursue? And even ourselves as adults, we know that when we went to school, maybe the pressure was not as bad and severe as it is now, but we do know when we went to school, you see the very popular, the popular kids, then you have the sports jocks, and then you have the little silent ones that did not speak. Why did I smile? Because that was me. The shy ones that was like, when somebody say hi, you just remain on silent, like, okay. And then you have the ones that's trying to fit in. And sometimes trying to fit in, they tend to follow the wrong crowd because that crowd is popular. That crowd gets a lot of attention. Um, their names just sing across the hallways, and it's like the teachers can hear a voice and know, oh, that's so and so. Like, what is he or she doing now? You know what I mean? And the principal just know you by first name, and your parents is on speed dial. Yeah, those. For some reason, those children are the popular ones, the ones that are fighting. And then you have the angry ones. Let me not exclude them. You have the angry ones, the ones that are so angry because that's all they know. And that's why we are talking about God's promises for children and our roles that we play in our children's lives. And what they see at home is what they do in the streets. So we need to change all that, wanting to strike and cuss them out and pushing and shoving and all that unnecessary things that makes a child angry. And then a child goes out and they mimic what they see at home, right? They become you, and you don't know why, or you see it and you do that old school, you do as I say and not as I do. That is not working today. Let me say it. That is not working today. Okay, so let's continue. In his word, God warns that we should choose our friends wisely because the people we spend most of the time with so often influence and define our worldviews, philosophies, habits, self image, environment, biases, preferences. This is why it is so vital that our friendship and those we hold nearest and dearest should live lives that are centered around Jesus Christ and include things like love, honesty, respect, encouragement, and accountability. And let me tell you something. Let me just say this and mean it. Everything they just said: love, honesty, respect, encouragement, accountability, fruit of the spirit. Without your child leaving home, that is something that you should instill in your child. You should instill that. You should instill that. And how do you instill that? And basically, I want to say, um, mean it, get it across, really just get it into their heads without beating it into them, without violence, without, um, you know, cussing them out or anything else. Because what I want to say is how you approach your child is how your child will approach you, and that's how your child is going to approach someone else. So when you instill the values, you have to hold yourself accountable also. Because you can tell them one thing and they watch you do another. And so basically, in their eyes, you're a liar. I'm just saying. Now, as you transition back into attending classes, studying, and socializing with your peers and classmates, be encouraged to evaluate your friendship and relationships, both old and new. Friendships that are centered around the Lord do not promote hate, destruction, or carelessness. or stifle your spiritual and emotional growth. Get that. Loving and supportive friendships will never tempt you to engage in sinful acts or behaviors or lead you down self-centered, destructive, or jealous paths. Let me just say this, reading that statement right there. And I must say it. I must, because what we do know is that some of the children that are raised in a church with these values right here, they will be the ones that lead you down the wrong path. It happens. It happens. And you know why it happens? Because when it's all said and done, they're human, they're in the flesh, and they're not perfect. So I just had to say that because a lot of times, you know, we want to take that word Christian and put it and everyone on a pedestal, and that's not where they belong. If you're not Jesus Christ himself, you are bound to make mistakes. And to sit there and say that, oh, because, you know, my father's a pastor and I was raised in a church, you know, that makes me better than you. You have to be very careful because the Bible tells you about that. Like, that's an ego, that's a sin. And never think too highly of yourself. Now, last week, I did do a reading on that. Do not think that you are higher than someone else or you are better than someone else, because it is a sin. And I think the reading had something to do with the Pharisee and the tax collector, that the Pharisee assumed because he was given all this money and you know, he was the Pharisee, that he was better than the poor tax collector. Don't be one of those. Don't be one of those. Truly godly friends won't distort your view of the truth or distract you from your God-given purpose, but will inspire, motivate, and encourage you to stay on God's path, never straying from what you know in your heart and by faith to be true. And then, you know, I did give one example. Now let's give another, because you will find some that really they will help you through. And those are the stronger ones. Those are the stronger ones. Those are the ones that have fallen and with love and encouragement from within their home got back up and asked for forgiveness and know what it is to apologize to their parents, because they also can be misled, because the world will have them thinking that they're missing out on something. Like, oh, no, 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 you know, put the Bible down and let's go over here and, you know, let's go smoke or drink, or, you know, he said he loved you, so you should give him a try. It happens. It happens. Remember the wise advice from the scripture: as you rejoin your friends and begin forming new relationships this school year, the righteous choose their friends carefully, but the way of the wicked leads them astray. Now, that's Proverbs 12:26, verse 26. Hebrews 10, verse 24. And let us consider one another in order to stir up love and good works. 1 Corinthians 15, verse 33. Do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character. Proverbs 27, verse 17. As iron sharpens iron, So one person sharpens another. So, guys, that is the short reading on just reminding your children not to do or play to follow the leader. If someone's doing wrong, you encourage them to do right. And what I want to say too, while encouraging them, really depending on the situation, but then again, it's just a give and take thing. Like, I'm just going to say, I really don't care what the situation is. Like, you should take that time to reward your child for good behavior. And let me tell you why I say this, because sometimes you can take your time to do what's right, and you want to please your parents, really. And you love it when they just sit there and compliment you like you did a good job, but somehow in some way you need to reward that good behavior. You know what I mean? Maybe it's a book, maybe it's a game, or some type of sporting event or whatever. Reward them with something, because I think the more you reward them, the more they're going to look forward to it. So they know, okay, you know what? This one was in school, and this one was, saying bad things to the teacher, and this one was, throwing the desk or a chair, and this one was over here kissing and hugging, and, God knows what else. We all know what goes on in the schoolhouse. But I'm not going to do that. So sometimes it's more than just don't do it, and then you leave it alone. It's like, you know what, I'm proud of you, and so, you wanted these here pair of shoes, it's a little expensive, but I put money on the side so I can get it for you. Or, good job, you wanted to go to the school basketball game or whatever, okay, now you get to go. So we have to remember that. That's what I just want to say. We have to remember to reward them, but also in a calm voice, not that voice of, and if I find out, you did this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to, we need to learn how to communicate a little better with our children. And like I said, we are going to speak on that. We will be speaking on that, on how to really, what I want to say, speak to your child in a manner that you would speak to your boss. Like, you're not going to go to work and say, oh, don't be telling me this, and if you ask me to do that, I'll flip over everything in here. No. And if we practice doing that, guess what? Our children will follow. Really, they will, because they're learning it at home. Remember, the first place that they learn from is at home. So, with that being said, I am going to log off, and then I am going to come back, and I really need to get a regular reading in, but you are going to see a lot of me tonight, or this morning, or this afternoon, depending on where you are watching from, okay? Because I really need to get a reading in, and I also need to move on to the next chapter with God's promises for children. Again, so it is Gail to the Point 101. Let's talk about it. He first loved us with a, what I want to say, a back to school tidbit is what I'm going to call this, okay? So I will see you in a bit. Do not go far. I will be right back.